San Antonio front office has officially released Jeremy Sohan. Now, I'm shocked by it. I'm not shocked that he's no longer a Spur. I think we all seen that coming. I mean, he fell down the depth chart. He never gained his spot back after having an injury. They was trying to work out a deal. I guess they didn't come to a favorable deal, so they waived him. Where I'm conflicted at is, are we going to bring somebody in? Are we using? I don't know the business part. Can we? I'm pretty sure we still have to pay him. But if he's picked up from waivers, I don't know how that goes. But it's just I'm not thrilled about it. So if reports come later that we bringing somebody in or that move was for this, so I hear reports that it makes sense, that to make it make sense, then I'll reserve my judgment. But looking on the face of it, it just looks like a bad decision. Um, because we don't know, we need bodies. At the end of the day, Jeremy Sohan is a body. He's been here for years, a few years. So he's a body. We can use that body. We don't know if injuries is going to happen. We don't know if we get the injury plague in March, leading into the playoffs. So, he's a body that's been here before. He knows the system, So, I mean, if we're going to do something, maybe get a little bit back, maybe try to get a trade or somebody of value. But I don't know. I got to reserve my judgment until more reports come out on why it was done. Maybe we bringing somebody else in that we may like more. I see that they starting to like Carter Bryant, and rightfully so. The dude can defend. He's really a good defender, that Carter Bryant. Is he a good low post defender? I don't know. I don't know about that. Jeremy Sohan could defend the post. He's could defend a lot of positions, but Carter Bryant is definitely looks like a better perimeter defender, and he looks like he's a better shooter. So I guess they, why, we don't really need Jeremy Sohan. We got this guy Carter Bryant that can, look like he can shoot the ball better. He can, guard the perimeter, which the NBA game is the perimeter game. Nobody's gonna be posting up, so I can see why they probably have more faith in Carter Bryant's development. But still, I still think if we ain't getting nobody, or picking up anybody or moving that money, if we got money to move, if we don't do any of those kind of things to make this make sense, I think we should have got some value for him, because he's not like a player with no value. We could have got something, maybe a future second round or something, whatever, something rather than just releasing him. But if they're using the money to plug elsewhere, if we have money from him being released to plug elsewhere, then okay, that might make sense. But then again, I don't know how that works. I just know what goes on a basketball court. So business side of the game, I really don't have no clue of the ins and outs of that. So I just hope that at the end it all makes sense. But can't say I'm not shocked that he's no longer a Spur, because I think we all seen that coming. He just wasn't favored. I think reports is they couldn't come to a favorable deal, and you know that kind of plays a role in it. And Carter Bryant is looking really, really good. So it's like I can see why that he wasn't going to be a Spur for long. But I'm just shocked that we released him without getting anything in return, unless like I said, I got to reserve my judgment and see what happens. Weeks from now, see if we bring somebody in, see if somebody have a see what they do, if it's any money in that's changed hands. I heard false reports. I didn't hear from any verified source that he bought out his contract. I don't know about that. It was no verified sources on that. But I mean, if he's claimed off waivers, do we still have to pay? Or if he's not claimed off, I don't know how it goes with the NBA contracts. I just hope at the end when the reports come out, it all makes sense. Because if it doesn't, then I really have a sour taste about this. And definitely if we get the injury plague, God forbid we get an injury plague and we need bodies and we just let one walk out the door. We could have kept him for the end of the season to do that. But yeah, Jeremy Sohan is no longer a Spur. I had high hopes for him when he first came into the league. I thought he had potential to be one of the pillars of this team. Maybe not scoring, but affect the game other ways, like his hustle, his tenaciousness, his nastiness. You need players like that on your team, and I thought that he was going to bring that to our squad, but I guess his development wasn't developing fast enough. He got injured, and he just lost his position on the team. It's unfortunate. I know he's going to be a great player for whoever pick him up. I think he's going to be a great asset. He's not going to score a bunch of points, but he's a dog, and you need dogs on your team. So that's all I have. Go Spurs, go. Catch y'all again.